I like going
cool.
deaf.
The start.
Took my headphones off for that one.
Okay, so who's being host for this? I think we said Ava,
Not
right?
me.
Wasn't me or Max playing too?
Yeah,
Have
so
Ava
I think,
first.
Yeah, Ava.
It is thy me. I'm sorry.
I ran over my plate.
I
Fuck.
can definitely host this one. So, ladies and gentlemen, shall we go and introduce ourselves and with our names, especially since we have a new person here.
Yes.
Yeah, a star guest.
It was
Uh-huh.
Game developer.
commercial that I got on my face.
Very famous.
Oh,
Shut
come
up.
on, man.
So what do I need to do?
Oh no.
Can we restart?
Vindication of the mom.
To do all
Yeah. No, just go to your photos, mother. Okay.
She's
There.
having trouble
Chris,
with
can
her
we
phone.
screenshot this?
I can't just push it
No,
like
this is all
Mom!
staying in.
You
This is
took
all
a
staying in.
screenshot.
This is amazing.
It's there. Oh my
You
god.
took a screenshot, mother.
Is that easy to do?
Emily, mute yourself whenever this happens, please, because I know it will happen a lot.
Can you shut my door, please?
Emily's trying to teach her mom what the print screen
Mom,
button
don't
does.
you know I'm in the middle of something?
Mom, can you
All right,
we're trying
sorry.
to start a podcast again?
Hurry the fuck. My mother is loading.
Emily, you need to mute yourself whenever that happens.
Well, I was trying to clean up my trash
cool.
can.
It's us
Okay,
five.
guess
Yay.
has left.
It's us 5 again.
Okay.
Yippee.
3,
Oh, there goes our
2,
guest.
1. Ah.
You
There's
did
not,
more. Add
Chris,
more.
there's not enough, like, good
Okay.
emphasis, good oomph in it. You gotta
Yeah.
get some passion
Okay.
behind it.
Yeah.
Well,
Hi guys, it's me, your girl, your boy, Ava. So
Huh?
today,
Boy.
Oh yeah, that is true.
okay. Anyway,
Yeah.
sorry.
I
So
didn't sign up for
anyway.
that.
Chris, you didn't know about this?
All right. Anyway, we had a guest, but sadly that's not. Yeah. Anyway, he
The
left.
guest star has
Anyway.
left.
So today, I actually have a very good question for all of you, and plus
Oh,
everyone
yes, fuck
knows who
us.
we are.
You don't get intros, apparently.
I said everyone should know who we are because Chris puts our names up.
That is
Yeah,
true.
but we can still do it. What about if they're deaf?
Okay,
Or
fine.
blind?
Emily, you go.
They
Emily,
could be
you have
watching
no
you.
room to speak, okay?
What if they're deaf? First off, why are they watching?
Listen,
Finally,
I
a
tried.
podcast for me. Please,
I
sir,
tried to be
please stop
helpful.
yelling in the McDonald's. What?
Why
Emily,
would
go
a
introduce
deaf
yourself.
person
Introduce yourself.
watch a podcast?
I've watched a podcast.
Yes, you have
But
watched
you're
You
many.
also listen to it.
Deaf.
Yes, but I've also watched it.
Oh my
Alright,
god!
someone's echoing,
Anyways.
by the way.
Please, come on.
Anyways, hello, my name is Emily. We're moving on. Anyways, someone else.
Hi, I'm Chris.
Oh, I am.
Apologies if I have Doritos later.
Hey.
Heads up.
Just mute your mic.
You
Oh,
go.
yeah.
Mute
Go, Mike,
yourself,
sir.
please. No,
Max.
just have some common
It's an
sense.
ASMR
Max,
podcast.
who are you? Or go back to
Me?
Yes.
Me? Oh, okay. I am Max, and I'm here just to be
We don't
here.
get your entire life story.
No, listen. His name is Sam. He's going to Ball State as a business major. Let's move on.
ASL, age,
Okay.
sex, location. That's
Oh no.
All right.
That's a thing not many people
your
know
turn, your
anymore.
turn. Go.
I know what that is from.
Are you gonna go, Loki, or are you just gonna give up?
I did go. I
already
said,
did.
I am Loki.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you over Emily, and also you sound like Right Card.
Oh, that is
Together.
true.
Yeah. Anyway, so I actually have a good question, Max. This also applies to you too. What video game, really? Because I'm gonna go with video game this time. Were you most hyped for, but turned out to be garbage?
I can win. Oh, I can answer this question.
I know
I'm gonna say there's two. I'm gonna classify here.
I'll say
Go ahead.
I have two as well.
I have
The
two.
first one, okay, I'm gonna go in order. The first one was good old
Battlefield.
Battlefield 5.
Yeah.
I love the game to death. It's just the marketing team and some of the, I would say, cosmetic team for Battlefield 5 when it launched made some pretty horrible mistakes. It was god awful.
Wait, you're telling me that
The
women
community,
worked in World War II? Dang.
yes, I'm telling you, women with prosthetic arms weren't in the middle of a battle. I mean, I haven't seen any like pictures, any like documented proof of it from World War II.
Listen, let me live out the
So
dream of having a
that's what
cyborg
I'm
dummy
saying.
mommy.
So a lot of
That's it.
a lot of the community, a lot of the community for Battlefield 5, when they saw the release trailer, were really mad.
Hi, Atomic Heart.
Other than that, it got a bad rap. I personally loved Battlefield 5. Really good game. Okay. My favorite weapon was the M30 drilling. It was a shotgun / rifle hybrid. And I know I'm
don't
scumming
think
for
that's-
that, but I don't care. So moving
So,
on to the
tell
next
me.
game.
Okay, was it just the marketing team for Battlefield, or was it
It was
the
the
story?
market, yeah. It was the execution / marketing when the game released for Battlefield 5 that was
Okay.
atrocious. Other than that, because from that point on, it didn't do too good because it's like that's kind of how you draw people in,
Mm-hmm.
and if you can't really sell that, because you can't sell the game too well, and it's really bad, the community doesn't like it, then you're not going to get a lot of sales. You're not. It wouldn't. It's not going to be as
Yeah.
big as it should have been.
It's
in my
kind of
opinion.
like. Oh, you want to go?
Go ahead, Ava.
It's kind of like how it was with, and I will say this right now, and I will stand by this right now. This is not a game that I hate. This is a game that I love. Devil May Cry. I only saw one ad on my TV for Devil May Cry 5, and that was it. I was like, what? Wait, what? Wait, what?
What?
Yeah, but it turns out that the young creator forgot about it, so. Oh. Anywho.
Yeah.
Continue what you're gonna say.
Something trailing kind of the opposite of Max's, and one of the ones I was looking forward to but was just disappointed with, was Cyberpunk 2077. That game had really good marketing.
I can vouch for that too. Okay,
That game had
pre-ordered
really
that
good
one.
marketing. That game had really good marketing. It had been known to be coming out for like 7 or 8 years prior, I think. It comes out horribly glitchy mess, and it's just all over the place. And it's unplayable, so that's what.
Wasn't like Max, as I know you played it. Didn't you used to play it, but then you stopped because it ruined your like build or whatever?
Okay, yeah. So on that subject, I played the game when it came out, and I'm like, I saw it, and the reason behind that is because, disregarding what you were saying, I saw this meme. It's like whenever it's like the meme for RPGs, whatever. It's like you do all the side quests first, then you do then you do the first boss. That meme. I was like, oh, that looks hilarious. So let's do that for Cyberpunk 2077. I'm like, okay, so I did it. I literally grinded everything out to max. I think it was like a 100% crit chance and 600% crit chance damage build. So I'd one-shot anyone. Then the first major update came out and it ruined everything. And I'm like, okay, you know what? Some point I'll come back to finish the game, but right now I got other priorities. So I just stopped from there.
Yeah.
And I can say another game that was like that was another Battlefield game. Okay. And it's a little more recent.
All of your
Battlefield
games are going to be Battlefield, aren't they?
Yeah, because I'm a Battlefield guy. So
we're kind of upset.
Okay, I would say the best Battlefield game recently, Battlefield 1. That was the best recent Battlefield game they've made.
So it's only been downhill since day one. Great.
Yeah, pretty much.
But no, Battlefield 20. No, it was Battlefield 2042. Yeah, 2040. You know, it was 2042.
Is it not?
I remember playing that.
I thought it was 2048.
I thought it was 2048 as well.
Might have
Maybe
I
been
it's
remember
that.
because
playing
there's
that, and I
the game
remember.
No, it's Battlefield
2048.
2042. I was right. Yeah, it was Battlefield 2042. Yeah, I was right. Okay. That was like I said, kind of similar to Cyberpunk. At least not in regards to like everyone was expecting it for that long. But it's still very disappointing because it's like there's all this hype. Everyone was excited for it. The marketing was good. Everything like that. Once the game came out, it was a pile of dog crap.
No, this will be fun.
So yeah.
Hmm.
But those are probably the two a couple experiences I've had with like failed expectations for games. The best game the only game I can think of that has been like really hyped, everyone was looking forward to it. It looked really good and it actually delivered on that was Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah. I mean, that's
That's
just
just
Rockstar
the-
in general, though, because they generally put out really high quality games. But God, you
Elden
cannot
Ring
pay
is
them
probably up
enough
there.
money to hurry up with some of their games.
That's true, yeah.
Mhm.
Elden
Elden
Ring.
Ring, but I mean, it's FromSoft. Everyone knows FromSoft makes good games, so I mean, it's not really.
Hi,
FromSoft DLC
Bloodborne.
is
I'm
a
still
second
waiting.
game on the game already.
Yeah, I mean,
Heh.
yeah. When's that coming out?
It's supposed to be late
Soon, isn't it?
2023, yeah, or
Late this
2024.
year, so probably Christmas for like Christmas revenues and stuff like that, or sometime next year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Somewhat recent. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Alrighty.
coming out. I think a majority of their team was just like focused on Armored Core 6.
I'm not
Well,
gonna
yeah.
lie.
What did they
Not
expect?
gonna
Yeah, 'cause the
lie.
beta's out, right? That already came out and ended, right?
I mean, it's been
I
out
think
for
Armored Core
like
6.
for a few weeks, I think, weeks or months.
Oh, it's already come out. Oh, okay.
Not gonna
Yeah.
lie. I'm gonna be interested to see what happens with Mikola, but that's just me.
Yeah,
Mikola?
How is Armored Core? Has anyone played it?
not,
No.
I have not. I have seen some gameplay. It looks
It looks
okay.
really cool.
Okay.
Looks cool.
Yeah.
It's but you what I can tell, you have to be into like the mech genre. You can't just be like,
Yeah.
I like Dark Souls and I like all this stuff. I'm gonna go into because it's gonna be completely different gameplay.
Yeah.
It's not like
Okay.
linear open
Okay.
world. It's like there's a hub, you go in and you do missions.
You know, I have to say this. For one of the games that I see, and everyone could probably agree with me on this, especially Mr. Trinic's class, everyone agreed with me on this. And if you and Chris remember, Loki,
Mhm.
Last of Us 2, Dear Lord, oh, they
We don't talk
killed
about that
my
game.
boy Joel and just made it 10 times worse because I didn't see really any
Spoilers, by the
marketing on
way.
it.
But
I
Ava,
didn't see
Ava,
good
it has to
marketing.
be a good game. It won Game of the Year 2019.
I fucking hate that. No, that did not deserve it. No,
You
but
know,
what
the
really
same year that
upset me with
Sekiro came out, the same year that
Sekiro should have got it.
or wait, hold
What
on.
was
When
it?
when did Last of Us 2 come out? Let me check real quick. Let me make sure it's 2019, not 2020.
But
Wait, you're telling me
like, the
The
reason
Last of
why
Us
got me
2 won Game of the Year?
yes,
Yes.
What? Who's smoking crack?
I don't know.
Everyone.
But
Oh
like
my
Well,
god.
the reason
technically, you're
why
not
I hate
supposed
it
to
so much
smoke
Never
was
it.
mind.
because of the story.
2020. Game of the Year for 2020. So what all were the games that came out in 2020?
I
Let's
know
see.
that's when
Fall
Sephiroth
Guys.
was introduced into
Fall
Smash.
Guys. Okay, so Final Fantasy VII Remake,
I
Animal
should have got
Crossing
it.
Doom
New
I'm just
Eternal.
saying.
Horizons, Half-Life Alyx, Doom Eternal. We're not talking about Cyberpunk. Ghost of Tsushima. Demon's
the thing
Souls
is, like-
remake. Granted, that's
Hey,
probably why. It was a
you're
remake.
telling me Ghost
It
of
was a
Tsushima didn't
remake.
win Game of the Year?
Oh, yeah, no, it didn't.
Last of Us 2 beat Ghost of Tsushima?
Yes.
No, Last of Us 2 also beat Doom Eternal and Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Okay, the
How
remake.
much did they have to pay to get in the pockets of these people? What
Oh,
is?
probably a lot.
My
It's-
God.
It's
Look.
PlayStation. They have the money. You know what they do.
Here's the thing. I'm not like I just don't like Last of Us just because. Well, Last of Us 2. Sorry, Last of Us was a perfect game. Mwah, mwah, perfection. Even though I hate
Yes.
when they released it and it was just with high quality, nothing was promised. I hated that. That shouldn't have
Oh
cost
man, I
the
love
no,
the
PlayStation.
PC
that's the
Deluxe
remake.
Edition with less than what the actual game came with.
I know. That's why
Now
I
with
hated
less
it.
textures. How?
No, but like Last of Us 2 was like, oh, this looks pretty cool. You play as adult Ellie. Okay, let's see what happens. What the fuck? Wait, somebody killed Joel,
Okay.
and
Yes.
everyone is like siding with like what was it, Ellie, because they're like, oh, if Joel would have let Ellie die, it would have caused the vaccine. Might I remind you, vaccine and a cure are two different things. It wouldn't have cured it. It would just give people who have the immunity to not get infected. It wouldn't have solved the problem. It would have just made it a tiny bit better.
Yeah.
So
It's preventatory. And also not all
yeah,
vaccines work. Like
yeah,
it raises your immunity to infection. It does not just say you cannot be infected.
yeah. Now with
Look,
Ellie, it's a
and
totally
also
different story.
you can still be infected, but with a vaccine, you won't experience symptoms. But that means that you
Like
won't
that's
know
what
if
Ellie
you'll
has.
transfer it to somebody else. So
Like,
Mm-hmm.
and everyone's gonna say, "Oh, I am trans, like whatever, homophobic or whatever." Bro, I'm not upset about that. I'm upset with the story. That's all I am upset about. They shouldn't have killed Joel,
the better question
and
is
for
what
some
story?
reason, I know. Like, and the other thing is, like, I hate a revenge plot over and over again because you need something more than just revenge. Because first, you hear that Joel in the first game killed the father of the girl Abby who killed Joel while Ellie watched. Now Ellie was trying to kill Abby after that, but turns out at the end of the game she lets her go and then she cries because then she loses her girlfriend. I'm like that was just terrible. I went through all of that just for that ending. Like, nah, man, I need something else. Like, it was bad. And another game, it was fairly recent because I deleted it off my PlayStation 5. Was Crisis Core. I did not understand the mechanics. I barely saw any like marketing for it, and if I did, it wasn't that much. Like it totally switched like the mechanics and the gameplay and the graphics from Final Fantasy VII remake, and that's what I was used to, and that's what I liked. With this, it just felt a bit I don't know how to say it blockier. Like I had no idea what the heck I was doing half of my time when I was playing as Zack, and I was like, oh, maybe I can get through it just because I like Sephiroth, right? No, I could not. I had no idea what the heck I was doing. I was like, how do I activate this? How do I do this? Because it didn't, like, when it did give you an explanation, like, it still didn't make sense for me. Like, with 7, I understood it. It stuck with me. I was able to do it. I was able to get through it. I don't know what happened in Crisis Core, man. Like, to me, the graphics basically took I don't know, like took a like it was dog, man. Like the monster was like kind of like it was kind of good, but not as good as it was in 7. And the way how I just hate it. The way how like they made you like it seemed like it was back like when it was made around that time. I forgot when Crisis Core came out. I don't remember when the actual game came out.
I mean, all of Final Fantasy VII came out in the same. It was all in one game, wasn't it? Or was it not?
The Crisis Core is a
Oh.
separate one.
Oh, it did.
Crisis Core is the
Gosh.
first one.
How
I don't
are you
remember
going
when
to
that.
name a game? Here's the 7th one, but there's multiple of them. That doesn't make
Like-
sense. Just make it like
Right.
Final Fantasy 9 or stuff like that. And I'm gonna get shot for that opinion. Oh well, it's a different universe with each one. Yeah, whatever.
But still, it would have made you like understand and kept on with the story that you're going with, even if it was a different dimension.
Yeah.
Like Crisis Core, I was really upset with. Like it took everything that I was excited for, because I was like, oh, I get to see the big three: Angel, Genesis, and Sephiroth. I was like, oh, and I get to see Zack too, and possibly a little bit of Aerith and Cloud. I couldn't even play for that long because it was like I couldn't stand the gameplay. Like I said, like there was so much on your screen for me at least that I couldn't keep up with anything. And when you try to dodge or something, I was so used to playing Elden Ring at the time. So when I tried to dodge, it didn't obviously. I tried to obviously I had to adapt and overcome, but it wasn't good. Like
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very much so like you played Elden Ring and you're like, wow, these mechanics like they're tricky, but they feel good when you get a hang of it.
like
But it's
yeah,
like,
and it doesn't feels good like once you defeat something, especially if you don't understand the mechanics. In
oh yeah,
Crisis Core, it did not feel that way. I was
Yeah.
like, after I killed the monster, I was like, what the heck just happened? I felt like I felt like Zach had a seizure on the screen. I was like,
Yeah.
duh, that's my opinion. Do you have one, Loki?
I again, I don't really get excited for games. There are a few games I get excited for, and they're usually good games.
So like Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2 I was excited for, and it delivered.
Doom.
No, not really Doom.
Oh, you didn't like
I mean, I have the other game that I was really excited for to come out, but then it just immediately I played it and I hated it.
Yeah.
And that is Callisto Protocol.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Wasn't that just
So,
like a remake of another game, basically?
I
well,
remember
it
another
wasn't a
game that
remake. Because a
it
remake would
was,
have been better than what actually came out.
Mhm.
because they already made a remake of Dead Space, didn't they? With
So
better graphics.
Callisto Protocol was, I guess, supposed to be the spiritual successor to the Dead Space series,
Yeah.
and then
Oh, okay,
so
that's
it
what it
came
was. Yeah.
out December of 2022, so
Mhm.
literally last year, and then Dead Space remake came out January 2023, so like a month after. So a lot of people that really like Dead Space, and I love the Dead Space franchise because I like
Oh
a
yeah.
lot of those cosmic horror type stuff, and
I mean,
just
come on, look
just
at
body
Isaac
horror.
Clarke. Look at him.
That man needs a day off, and he is never going to
I
get
know.
one. He has been marked by
Yeah.
the Crayola marker. But like I really do like that type of body, like thing style body horror,
Mhm.
like what the Necromorphs had. And so a lot of
Yeah.
people were like, okay, cool. We get a month for Callisto Protocol, see how that is, and then we can play Dead Space remake. And the only reason it had like a sort of tracking in the beginning was because a lot of like either streamers or YouTubers. I know Markiplier had a YouTube like 2 episode YouTube series thing of Callisto Protocol.
It
Mhm.
sucked,
But
bro.
yeah, no, it was really bad because the story was just
Mhm.
stupid and bad. I mean, it was a one for one or almost one for one copy to Dead Space's story,
Mhm.
just with even worse elements. The characters look like off-brand necromorphs, not even like
Mhm.
deriving any uniqueness. And then or just zombies as well, because they also barely had any differences than just, oh yeah, it's a dead person. That's all it is.
Yeah.
We're not even hiding the fact that it's just a dead person. It's like cool. And then the gameplay fighting mechanics were really bad. Because how it would be was you would have to pretty much you would have, in order to dodge an attack, you would have to go the direction that you're being attacked by, which at first sounds okay. You're like dodging to the side, that way it like goes past you. But that's only if there's one enemy. What if there's two or three and they're all attacking at different areas? You're just dead, or you're going to take a lot of damage. And in the original Dead Space, like, ammo and currency was a rare thing, but it was still easily obtainable by, okay, obviously note how much ammo you're spending, but you also have, melee options. If you run out of ammo, you're out of currency, you can't find anywhere to spend it, whatnot. And the melee weapon does work. But with Callisto Protocol, you have almost zero times where you will get ammo. Because, sure, you can stomp on an enemy and you might get ammo, but 9 times out of 10, it's just going to be nothing. It's going to be some garbage healing that does like 15 of 100 health, I think. Or it's going to be like currency. Or maybe it's ammo, but it could be for a different gun. And it's just all this stuff. At least Dead Space gave you ammo. So if you're not upgrading your melee weapon, it doesn't matter, because you're not going to live. You have to use your melee weapon, no matter what. Which is just really annoying. Especially in a game where there are times where you can just be hoarded by like 10, maybe 15, I think is the maximum that I had ever seen in one area, of these necromorph ripoffs. It'd be so satisfying to just take out like an assault rifle or take out a shotgun and just like mow them down, even if it's like, well, it's going to cost me, but I'll maybe make some of it back by just looting their body. But with Callisto Protocol, it's like it takes like an entire magazine to kill one of them, but it takes 2 hits from your stun baton to kill them. So it doesn't. It's really bad. The story is just, you are an outer space delivery truck driver. You go to prison because you have something that the prison warden wants. You get caught in this whole mess because the prison warden's trying to recreate, like, accelerated human evolution. So he's like, here's the alpha, and in order to get the cure for your friend, you need to kill the alpha. So you kill the alpha, which is the last fight of the game. Or it's the boss of the game. And so it's like, I'm not going to side with you. I'm going to give this to my friend. And you give the cure to the woman that hijacked you. It's very fuzzy, so I'm sorry if this is just all coming off as just like gobbledygook. But like, I played the game and I immediately wanted to forget the entirety of the game.
Yeah.
Pretty much, you then get to an escape pod, you send her off because you feel guilty, and then at the end of the game, there is this one cutscene of this one scientist that helped you, like, once during the game, and she's like, hey, main character, I know another way off of Black Iron Prison, which is the name of the prison. So it feels very disingenuous, or like, because the whole idea is sending her out instead of yourself. That way you can finally sacrifice yourself because you had unintentionally helped these horrible people that just pretty much released a plague. So if it's like, hey, by the way, that sacrifice you made, it means nothing. We're going to make another game and then you can do all this again. And it's just like, I don't really even want that. Just make it end.
Like, another game that it reminded me of that was terrible was, and everyone knows it because this is the most awesome game that there was, Until Dawn. I love that game, but that's not what I'm complaining about. I'm talking about Man of Medan and Little Hope. Oh my god, they cheated me out. Man of Medan. Oh. It was so bad. So I think I remember half of that story. So what is supposed to do? Like, let me explain right now.
Yep.
Until Dawn is like where, if you guys don't know, is like where you and your teenage friends go out into a snowy biome. I'm gonna say it's Alaska. Well, actually no, you have to be in Canada for that because you have like
I think it's
these.
Maine or like upstate New York during the winter because of
I
the
thought
monsters. But keep
I thought
going.
it had to be Canada with the Wendigos.
Wendigo is North American in general. More
Yeah.
commonly, it is northern, so I guess it'd be like it could be in any like Maine.
Oh,
It's
I
pretty
guess it
much
could.
wherever
Yeah.
Algonquian folklore is. Let me look up where that is. But keep talking, keep talking.
But
Good.
anyway, so like you and your teenage friends are going up there, and you switch from character to character, which is nice. You don't
Yes.
stick with one. No, but you scare one of the sisters, or no, you don't scare one of the sisters. You're mean to one of the sisters, and I think it's Beth. And she goes and runs out into the snowy storm that she does because she's an idiot. And you can either save her or she can either die, in which some people in the game died. Like, let her die because they
I
chose the
think
wrong
she
option.
dies either way.
There's like a thing you're trying to able to save her, but she dies either way. I think. I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know. Don't remember. But anyway, and you're met with these Wendigos, and they try to kill you and everything. So it's like what I like to say. It's the butterfly effect game, which I really like. Butterfly effect.
Well, they quite literally have a butterfly in with the words butterfly effect in
I know. That's what I'm saying.
the the beginning.
Like, but all these games, Man Madan, Little Hope, and I think what is the other one? I forgot the other one. You're in
House of
Iraq or
Ashes.
something. House of Ashes. Thank you. And like, well, these are all sequels, or not sequels. They're all like trilogies to the game. Apparently, they're supposed to be all in one. Like, they're all in the same universe. I don't know how that
Yeah.
works, but Manabadan cheated me out because first you're out at first, like you and your friends are out at sea, or like you're on your friend's private boat, like a yacht, and you're like, oh, this is kind of cool. Strand out at sea. I can work with that, right? Right. Okay, so then some guy comes up and with his men and hijack your boat. Told you, like,
Hello.
Hello, welcome
hi,
back.
welcome.
Hi, haven't missed anything.
A lot.
Yes.
Oh, well, the cheese did not agree, so I had to go fix that.
That is not a statement I would have ever wanted to hear in my life. I did not think that us talking about Until Dawn would get us to the point of Emily saying the cheese did not agree.
Nah.
Well, I was like, I
Burrito.
just can't leave. They're probably summoning me somehow, so.
But Ava, the Algonquian peoples, they are mainly in Canada, but like
Yeah.
they inhabited all of Michigan at one point, most of like all of Maine, all of Vermont, like so it's not out of the possibility that they're
It
just
wasn't
in
Canada.
yeah. Like it could be in Canada, but by all means, it's possible that they could have just been in like Vermont or Maryland during the winter or something
Or
like
Maine.
that. Or Maine, yeah.
I
Yeah.
like
It
Maine.
says Until Dawn takes place in Alberta, which is
Okay,
on
that
the
is Canada.
Canadian Rockies in Canada.
Okay, got it.
Anyway, but Manamadan cheated me out because you had these men, and then like I think one of your friends, because this is like again like what Chris said, this is very hazy because I just hated the game. I'm pretty sure one of your friends tried to take down the so-called assailants or like your captives, and then you escape to go find help, right? Well, apparently you think you find help, but then like this is really hazy for me, but I just
Yeah.
hated it. But turns out you don't find help.
Yeah.
Instead, you are hallucinating.
Yeah, so the
Er,
main yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
But the
Sorry,
main
but like,
you're good.
do you want to speak then?
It's sure. But the main hallucinogen like at the very beginning of the game, which is like one decision, literally one decision, and that is to play to like get your fortune told or not. That's literally all it is. And so what it is it's like, oh, men are coming home from Vietnam. The hallucinogen is just like expired Agent Orange or something like that. Agent Orange mustard gas mixture. And so that's
Yeah.
why you're hallucinating. And it's such a like
That can,
you
that can make
barely
you infertile.
remember it because by the time that you figure it out,
Did you just say Agent Orange?
oh god.
Brother.
Damn.
Oh,
No, you
boy.
won't like it in
Okay.
Mana, Dan. You won't like it.
Yeah, Agent Orange known for making the people hallucinate. What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
No,
canon.
but like, turns out like you find this. What is it? Like you also go scuba diving in this. I don't. This is probably so out of order too. But
Yeah,
like,
it's weird.
um,
It's a bad game.
yeah, because like it turns out like you're on this abandoned ship. And like it turns out it's like an old ship too, because like maybe it's coming from World War II. Because there's also like you guys when you went scuba diving, you also saw an airplane that you thought that was like help or something, but then you find out it's in the middle of the ocean, and you guys are hallucinating because you see a skeleton in there. But you're hallucinating so much so that there's monsters apparently on this said ship, and that you and your friends, because I think your friends also broke away from those said your said
Yeah.
captors. And when you're trying to escape, you find out that everything is a hallucination. And I was just like, "Are you serious
It's
right now?"
like
We came from a game that had literal Wendigos that you would have to wait for like the times, like the like like the quick time sections.
Yeah.
you'd have to choose
Like
when to breathe.
yeah, and I was like, "Oh, maybe it's like that." No, it really wouldn't have mattered because it turns out I don't even know how you would die in that situation because it's just hallucination.
Yeah, but
Like,
it's all just
oh,
so dumb.
Yeah.
Like
hated me, man.
especially in
And
a
Little Hope.
series
Sorry.
that has established monsters. Monsters are a real thing, and even if you're like, oh well, we're just going off of Native American or like stuff like that. There are Native American sea monsters, or you could have done like Loch Ness. You could have done
Yeah,
like the Fiji
you could have
mermaid.
done the Bermuda Triangle. You could have done the Kraken. You could have done anything, really.
But nah.
But
Got
no,
a bad batch
no,
of Agent O.
hallucinations, bro. That's where it is. Hallucinations. Yes. No. And what really got me my gears grinding up was also Little Hope. Because it turns out, in Little Hope, it's literally in a place, and I think it's like where the witch trials took place. So,
So Salem or
was Salem witch trials? Yeah,
Massachusetts.
I'm not just saying
Salem,
Massachusetts. I think you're
Massachusetts.
right.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh, witches, Salem witch trials. I like the Salem witch trials. I find them interesting,
Yeah, I
and
think
I
a lot of
also
people
find
do.
it, but because like there was like a time where like they took a month break of killing people, and then they're like, yeah, let's just do it again because we're bored. But anyway,
Hey, I'm bored.
um, let's go
Nothing.
kill the
Nothing.
let's go kill the next widow. Let's
Not
go
not a
kill the
whole
next
lot for
widow
me
over
to
there.
do here other than watch. Nothing a lot from my Protestantism to do other than cheat on my wife and
Say that she's a
not
witch.
much. Yeah. You know what?
Look,
I
hey,
think
hey,
it's
hey,
time.
hey.
You know what? It's been a while since I smelled burnt skin. I need to smell it again. It's a nice aroma.
When your boyfriend surprises you, the front row seats to the execution. No, but like in Little Hope, like it takes place in the Salem witch trials. Like, so you go back. So really, what happens is that you're Edward, and like you have this. It's like a class field trip, right? It consists of you of an old woman, a few like a few teenagers like you, and then I think
Just
another
like
adult.
one
But
old man teacher. That's it.
it's like it's an old woman because her name's Angelina. I remember that much.
Yeah, but there's also
I
like a male teacher. He's like, I'm here. Listen to me. I'm wizened and old and also definitely not racist.
not, definitely not gonna croak soon, right? Again, this is also the butterfly effect. So what you choose affects the story in the game and affects the characters. So I was like, oh, okay. Salem Witch Trials looks good. okay, maybe we have a little bit of hope, pun intended.
But
No,
it's
no, we did not. And I was like, in the beginning of the game, because it starts with Edward, and it involves all of his family dying in the fire. It doesn't matter if you try to save them or not; they still die. And you wonder how they died because there's like apparently this like black shadow apparently chasing you, and it kills you. It kills your family members or something like that. Or oh no, that's the end of the game. Sorry. No, you
Spoilers.
accidentally set a fire, kills your family, and when you try to save your one sister that is trying to escape from the house, basically. Sorry, I don't want to get demonetized.
that's
She
fine.
basically dies by her scarf.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I was like, I don't know how you could fail that hard, but you did. But I also understand it because it was like also icy out,
yeah.
but also sick. Anyway,
I'll
anyway,
just
continuing
I'll
on.
just say this. These games have very dark tones,
Dark,
such as
like,
like self
yeah.
harm and suicide. So if you don't really want that, just I'm sorry, but yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry. Put a warning up at the beginning of the video. Probably.
Oh, and also a spoiler warning too.
Yeah, but I really hope people
Yeah,
do.
but I think most of the games that we're talking about don't really need it.
That is true.
Like, I'm sorry. And it was like Little Hope was actually presented good too. But you turns out like you're in this like I think you're literally in Salem. But like these people
Sorry.
turns out like it's abandoned and you meet like this guy at the bar and you talk with him a little bit and you're like, "Oh, this guy seems familiar," right? Anyway, don't worry about him anymore because he's not important
Yeah, you
until
meet
later
him twice in
in the
the
bar.
game. Neither
Yeah.
times is it important in any form of significance. You could
No.
have literally written him out and it'd be the same game.
Like I think his name was Ned or something,
I
but
don't care. It's
I don't care at
Ned's
all.
declassified over here.
And we get Ned over here. But no, but
Howdy diddly.
you like it turns out like your school bus like breaks down and you're like, oh no, we're in a abandoned town that everyone fled from. And you're like, oh, okay. And it turns out this is where the Salem witch trials also took place. And I'm like, okay, maybe it's better than Man of Medan, I'm terribly hoping. And it did well with the horror and did well with horror. I'm not gonna lie because you got chased by different types of like monsters. I don't want to say they're witches. There's something though.
So what they were was all of the
I don't remember.
characters have a design to them, and then all the monsters look like. So this is
Oh,
kind
like
of
they. Yeah.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
So in the game, you'll also get so and so flashbacks to the past when the witch trials were happening, and there'd be different
Yeah.
people, and they would die through different ways. All of these people would look like the group of people that were stranded on the bus, and so
Yeah.
however they died is what the monster that
You died
correlates.
from.
Yeah, that's what that person dies from. So I think the old lady.
Like she got drowned. I remember that because she was like, because like you had the option to either talk to her or not, but it didn't matter because she would die because they're like you're talking to the devil, and she got thrown into the water. And then once you know it, you're getting chased by that same woman that got drowned to death.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
everyone had their cool, unique death too. Like I think one of them who got hanged, like you died by his. This is gonna sound weird. You
By
died
his
by his
ears.
tongue because he. Yeah.
Oh right, yeah, because
Yeah, he died by his tongue.
yeah, the tongue
weird.
sticks out, which is a very gross thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is good because I did lose some of the characters. Angelina, I thought I lost her because I was like, I really just don't like you, but turns out she lived, so I had to help her, I guess.
You
Guess I'll
didn't
help.
have to.
I didn't have to, but I was like, I guess I will. And I was like, oh, this is getting good. Like, different witches, different monsters, and that correlates to their death. And also, that correlates how you die, right? No, no, man. Turns out when you get to the very end of the game, you're at this house. Turns out you get a memory flashback of you in that house, right?
Yeah,
right?
I think so. You get
Yeah,
a
you do.
flashback
And
then,
then
and then there's also another thing.
yeah, like you're getting chased by that man. You're getting chased by that one shadow man, right? And
I think.
once you stop it, once you get into the house, because like you could also die by him too, apparently.
Yeah.
But at the end of the game, because it's like you remember your past, it turns out it was just you all along, and you were hallucinating that whole entire thing. So it was psychological horror, and I was just very disappointed with that too. I was like, yeah. I mean, like they did a good job with horror, but I was like, that was so cool.
Yes.
And I watched 8-Bit Ryan's video for that too to see if like he felt the same way. And he goes, "Wait, what?"
Yeah, so pretty
I was
much
like,
you
"No,
aren't
you
playing
kidding me?"
as several different characters. You're
Characters.
playing as one. The one kid that survived that house fire. What is he? A bus driver with schizophrenia. So he thinks that he is all of those different people. And so whenever you interact with actual people in the game, because there's like a few moments, there's one where you're getting derouted, and as a bus driver, you're like, hey, I need to get all these people. The cops look into the car and they see nobody, so they're like, this guy's a friggin' psycho. When you go to the bar and talk to that one person, he's
That's like your
confused.
sister's boyfriend.
Yeah, he's confused, and it's like it's all of this really weird stuff. And at the same time, I'm like, you just relegated back to it was all a hallucination. None of their
Yeah.
lives mattered because they didn't
Like
exist, which
like you could have
really
killed all of them and it still wouldn't have mattered because it was all him in his head, and I was like, "Oh my god, are you joking?"
yeah. Along
Oh.
with so in these flashbacks, there's this one girl that is it's like a little girl who's convicted because she
Yeah.
talks to a doll. And we nowadays just go, okay, well, she's playing pretend. Like, everybody has, like, when they're little, their imaginary friends, generally. And so it's like, okay, that's what it is. But back then, sure, you could say, oh, she's talking to the devil because she's talking to a doll.
She's
But,
talking weirdly, my friend.
yes. So what it is you are pretty much talking to her as the characters in the game. So in the future, talking to this little girl and her lawyer and saying, hey, the priest who is a devil worshiper is telling all of these people, like, these people should be hanged because they're talking to the devil when he's talking. It's so. Oh, sorry. It's so out of left field that doesn't make sense. It's just
And it
there's
just
no
leaves you like, to me it left like a sour taste in my mouth because I was like, oh my gosh, these are good. Maybe we're back on track, like Until Dawn, right? No.
Nope.
And until House of Ashes, I was still upset with House of Ashes, but it was still good. But it wasn't as good, man.
Yeah. I liked House of Ashes more because it wasn't just it was all in his mind and nothing
It
was
was
real.
actually, you played as different characters, which had their own stories this time. Everyone had their own different story. That was different.
Yes.
But you also had like real monsters because like you were out because all you guys are you're out in the army, and you
Yes.
find like this this abandoned temple that I think belonged to the Persians.
Well, it's mysticism, so it was probably used by the Germans during World War II.
Or that too. But you find out like someone like rose up these monsters. And like these are actually real monsters, but I was like, again, it was more action based than horror based some of the times.
Yeah, which I mean, I'm not gonna say I hate that.
Which is not bad, but I was like, man, I want Until Dawn type thing again.
Yeah.
Come on.
It was a step in a better direction than what Little Hope and Man of Mid was. It really was just the Man of Mid.
Like I also liked one of the characters because like you played as the enemy too,
Yes, there
and
was.
like
Yeah.
and also but also you realize that also they're aliens as well. Like
Oh yeah, the enemies.
yeah, and I was like, "Ugh, what?"
There was one character. It's like the main female, and literally the entire
Erica.
she was so annoying because she's like, yeah, it's a good thing I'm cheating on my husband with this other guy. I'm like, I'm chucking you to die the moment that I get the chance, and I did. She was literally like behind her husband's back, cheating on her husband. I was just like, this
Cheating
is
on
just
her with her best friend.
yeah,
With his best
with
friend.
with his best friend. I'm like, I hate this storyline. And then there's all the other storyline of like two American soldiers and a
And
Persian
like,
or Iraqi. I don't know, but
I
it's
think it's
like the
Iraqi. I
enemy
originally thought it
soldier.
was Russian, but
Uh,
he's like from the enemy lines, and you act. I love playing as him
yeah,
because I really
it's a good thing because in the story you can either choose to be mean, but if you choose to be nice, it's like, nah, we're soldiers. We stick together. I'm like, okay, I like this. Just it doesn't
yeah, and
matter.
I was
We're
like,
all
oh my gosh,
conscripted
I like
whether we
that.
want to or not. It's amazing. I love it. And
Not
there
only that, but like you felt like also I will say this, you felt dread if you actually did keep that girl alive because one of the monsters started chasing her, or when you and your men, you and that guy, because it consisted of those two American men and the enemy, like you were circled around and they carried one of the men away. I was like, oh, this is good, but also I was sad that they were aliens and it was more action based. But it
I
is
mean,
what
at
it
least
is.
they were real.
Hey, at
Yeah.
least they like what you said, Chris. They took a step in the right direction.
Yeah. And then their most recent one, The Devil in Me, which
Yep.
that is the name of an adult video if I've ever heard one.
What'd you say?
Their most recent that came out last year is The Devil in Me.
I actually didn't see that game. I never heard of it, but also probably because the marketing team are like, screw it.
Oh, if you thought here's what it is. Imagine if you were to take all of the bad aspects from Man of Medan and Little Hope, put it into a game and add more horrible aspects.
No.
It's like just take those two games, combine them, and multiply it by cancer.
The Devil
Multiply that by the Scarlet Rot Man.
Let me see if I can find a description of the story.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Story explained. Oh god, it's gonna take me to Reddit. This is all. Oh, already I can feel the viruses entering into my. Wikipedia. Yeah, sure. We'll look at it. Wikipedia. Yeah. What would it be? Would it be in synopsis? I guess. Yeah.
Probably.
Devil in Me's plot begins with
Go
in
ahead.
Chicago, where H.H. Holmes runs the World's Fair Hotel. Yeah, so it's supposed to be set in like there was this once really horrible serial killer named H.H. Holmes in Chicago, and you think, oh wow, we're going to be fighting against this horrible serial killer. First group of people just dead, just gone and dead, and you're like, great, love that. So then you're on to this other group of people, which are like true crime podcasters, I think. And they all hate each other, except two of them are gay for each other. Kind of. I don't know. And so
A
they're
lot of I don't
invited for their
knows.
last job all together, working together at being at like, here's this famous serial killer's house. Would you like to tour it? I'm the curator. And they're like, yeah, sure. Where is it? Oh, it's off in an island off the coast of, I think, Chicago. So it'd be like Lake Michigan or something, I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh yeah, by the way, you will be unable to use your cell phones. At no point does this raise any red flags to anybody.
there-
Not,
Yeah.
no. Come on, we all know that everyone's stupid in this. Other than
I don't know
Till
how.
Dawn and somewhat of House of Ashes.
Oh my gosh. But at least House of Ashes made sense. You're in the middle of nowhere and you're a recon group for the army. What is
Yeah.
this? Oh yes, I would like to willingly send myself into the chop house grinder. Yay.
Oh,
But pretty much they all hate each other, and they're there for like one night, and in that night they're all stalked by some ghost of the past, when actually it's just one dude that is a serial killer that has a control room to change the layout of the house anytime he wants to for convenience sake.
So basically, Saw.
Yes, it's Saw, but worse.
No.
Because at least Saw is short and you don't have to do anything. This you have to play the game of, well, like 90% of the people in this are going to die. Great.
Yep.
It's
No matter what I do,
It's
they're bad.
Saw with no plot.
which
Like,
is saying something, because Saw already barely has a plot.
yeah, because they already have Saw X right now.
Yeah, it's coming out eventually.
Coming out October or September, I don't remember.
I'd assume October because of the
Well-
horror movie month. Ugh.
Like, don't get me wrong,
I love horror movies.
I do, but like, also don't get me wrong with what is it? With like, I just wish they would do better, man. Like, we had Until Dawn, and I was like, that's good. That's good. Why can't we get more of that? Even like House of Ash. Yeah, House of Ashes was in the step in the right direction. Sure, it was more action based, like I said, but you still. But it was still kind of good,
Yeah.
even though
main-
I was very
yeah.
disappointed.
With the devil in me, the main character, I'm going off of what I watched some YouTuber play it. I can't remember their name, but I'm just like going off of that one video. So it was 100% super highly edited, but like the main character is gay, right? And so she thinks everybody hates her and her girlfriend because she's gay. And every single time she makes sure to remind the player, hey, I'm gay. I'm just like, I don't like this ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because going on to like, I can't believe that we're already, episode 3, we're talking about this. Going on to gay representation in media, it's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is
Last of Us
one
was
that
Last of
there
Us
is
was also
one game that I've heard they represented a gay dude well, and that
What?
was Final Fantasy 16, I think.
I thought you were going to say Final Fantasy 7 Crisis Core.
I was going to say, whoa,
No.
whoa. I have to say, Final
No.
Fantasy VII Part 2 looks good. That's all I'm going to say. Like,
This is the
that's
thing
the-
that
that's
is
what I
annoying to me
wanted.
with Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy 7, Part 2. You mean Final Fantasy 8? Huh? Kingdom
But I mean,
Hearts
original.
365 over 2 days.
Yeah.
I mean, like, sadly, I don't remember their name. I don't care really now. But whoever made Man the Medan, Until Dawn, House of Ashes, Little Hope, The Devil in Me, like,
Dark
they used to be a
Pictures.
good game company, man. Like, they were known for, like, the Wendigo and goods, like, at good times, scary, good actual horror. Little Hope could have been horror based if it wasn't psychological based, because that it wouldn't have, like, if they would have taken that out of the game, would have loved it. And then when I found out about that, I was like, oh, you sons of Radigan, you took that away from me. My brother is raw, you took that away from me.
And don't get me wrong. I like psychological horror. I think if you can do psychological horror good, you do it really good. A good example is like the Amnesia games, I think. I think they're psychological horrors. And they do a pretty good job. But the problem is, if it's a video game, you're allowed to go into more like, oh, these things are real. This isn't fake. This is real. And you're able to add that horror. If you want to add horror that sticks, add, like, you already have, oh, well, the character will die. and it's your fault. You
Yeah.
already have that. You don't really need to add a whole lot more, but sure, I guess go ahead and make everything pointless. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, kind of like what you said. It's like I don't like psychological horror. Like, it was good. Like in Little Hope, it was good up to a point
Yes.
when you found out everything was fake, and I was
It
like,
didn't matter. It's like,
what?
why?
What? What?
It's
Yeah.
like, great,
I
I wasted how many hours for one dude to just walk around in an empty town?
like. I like to say the best interpretation I've seen of psychological horror. Take it with a grain of salt, if you wish. Resident Evil 7. That was good.
Mm-hmm.
For me, that was good. Because it was like, it indulged a little bit of, of Evelyn controlling the whole family. And you seeing things sometimes. And also you taking drugs, but, that's just me. But also,
That's a different case. That's the different psychological horror
yeah.
known as the American Society. Keep Welcome to America. We keep our crack addicts on the streets. Yeehaw! God bless the red, white, and blue of our blood.
Hot dogs and Mountain Dew. No, but like also another
Carcinogens and
like
nuclear waste.
like that was good. Resident Evil 7. I love the Resident Evil franchise. Of course I'm gonna be biased on this, but I will say this. 7 did good on that. Like you felt the terror of like Jack Baker or one of the Bakers, which is mostly actually most of the enemies was just Jack Baker chasing you because he was technically the tyrant of that game.
Yeah. He was a
Or
bad
Marguerite
tyrant, but he was a tyrant.
Or like Marguerite Baker. Like she was good. She was terrifying.
Yes.
But like and also I loved her design, but also I was just like ew. But that's like
Yeah.
the stuff I like. Like if you can do good psychological horror, then I'm totally all for it.
Good horror
I
in
just don't
general
want
is in short supply right now.
Yeah.
but like
Especially in the
man, if you
movie
do
industry. The last
Yeah.
horror movie that came out, other than The Blackening, which was a comedy horror, and God, it's funny. It's stupid, but it's funny. But
but
Yeah.
like
last horror movie that came out, Evil Dead Rise.
uh I hate
Oh.
you can't I'm gonna say this right now. You cannot. You can, but I won't watch it. Make a whole movie of just blood and gore because I just hate just blood and gore. Like for example, Outlast. Outlast is psychological horror too,
Oh,
but it
that's a
also
really good psychological horror game.
yeah, that's a
Mm.
really
Especially
good
with
one.
the
One
Outlast
and two.
trials that just came out.
Yeah, I wasn't. I couldn't play it because I was like, I can't handle it. I remember telling you that, Loki. But also Twisted Metal. Twisted Metal's
Ooh.
good too.
Oh yeah.
It's like the father of all psychological horrors, man.
Twisted Metal Black, you know.
Yeah, Sweet Tooth, baby.
Sweet Tooth was has been in all of them, I think.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because he's the most
he's the
stand-up
most
kid.
prominent from Black. But
Yeah.
I really want to watch the show just because it's very odd because I know who the voice actor for him is, but they have a different person playing the body, which I think is fine
Yeah.
because you don't
Yeah.
have to lip sync, which is really
Because
good.
like me and
Along
Loki
with-
were talking about that one day. I can't remember what
Yeah.
day we were talking about that.
I heard I heard the show is actually good. They for the
Wow, they
marketing
actually
for some reason they used the worst parts of the show.
yeah.
Really?
And this
Oh
time
my
I can
I know.
yeah.
Too bad it's on Peacock.
Yeah.
Also, please make more shows available to us, please. Put it on Netflix or something, please. Because then
make more
make
good
more
video game adaptations.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk
Yes.
Edge
Like-
Runners, even if Cyberpunk is absolute like garbage, dog
here's the
water.
thing.
Yeah.
I will
So good
say, and
Yeah.
Max, Loki, and Chris can all agree with me. Halo was the worst,
Ugh.
worst show ever. They made Master Chief take off his helmet. And when he did take off his helmet in one game, don't remember, Loki, tell me. Loki,
Third.
tell me. Thank you. in third, he had another helmet on anyway. But they
Yep.
took it off, and he's just like not known for doing
Well,
that.
Not
It's like-
only did he have like the helmet just underneath the helmet, but also the camera like went up to so that you couldn't see his face.
Yeah,
As
it was in
well.
a position where it's like he's showing it to these people and only these people. That's it.
Like when you
And
try to hack the
he
game,
took his
you still
helmet
wouldn't know.
off in the first 5 minutes of the show or something
Yeah.
like that.
Could have been, yeah.
It made no sense. It was so bad. I mean, I feel like it would have been because there was a live action Halo movie before this all came out. It's a little while ago. I've watched that. Not too bad. Not the best. Still pretty good. Master Chief was in that one.
Here's the thing.
Um,
You know it's bad when Rooster Teeth, who made Red vs. Blue, made a better Halo show with SFM and machinima graphics using just Halo Reach lobbies than your own multi-million-dollar show. They used
Like-
a single graphics card and they did better.
You know, like another show I was really looking forward to, but sadly it was canceled, was the BioShock show.
Mhm.
But I hated that it almost.
why was it canceled?
The BioShock show.
Why?
Because it was shut down because you needed $2 million apparently.
Some
For like the
shows
big
that take
daddies,
that.
like. Yeah, but like for big daddies, like obviously that's gonna take a lot of work because there's two different big daddies, but also making the show in general. And plus, they had very adult themes in the game. You had Nazism, you had drug addicts, you had it all.
Slavery.
You had it all in the 1940s. It's all in the 1940s.
Yes. Well,
Like-
the game takes place in like 1960 something, but they went under in 1940. So yeah.
Yeah, but like, but another thing was that I think the producer, not the producer, I can't remember who was trying to
Netflix.
take the show.
Netflix.
Netflix. They said make it PG. No, you
Yes,
can't make
this
BioShock.
This
You can't
M-rated
make
game
BioShock.
PG, huh?
Like you can't do that with that game.
Yeah.
I played the game. I played 1. I tried to play 2. The save in that game hated me for some reason because I could not save.
Yes.
So, but it was a good. It was a good game. It was a very good game because it's iconic. Everyone knows the Big Daddies. Everyone knows Little Sisters. Everyone knows Andrew Ryan.
Yes.
Everyone knows that.
I feel like even now they're like it's going to take $2 million, but think about. But it's like if it would take $2 million to get a 1-for-1 suit of the Big Daddy, and if it's done well, oh my gosh, that would look so good.
Yeah.
Don't also imagine Little Sisters and like what is it, Frank Fontaine?
Yeah,
That would be good, Fontaine. But it would still be good. It would still be so good.
Get the person that plays Soldier Boy to play as the main character. I can't remember what his name is.
Jack.
Jack, right? Get him
Yeah,
to
you're
play as
cool.
Jack because it's just like I can see it. He's not doing much right now. Soldier Boy got killed off in The Boys. Sorry, spoilers, but that season came out 2 years ago, so whatever. So
Yeah.
it's like I
Fly's also in The Boys too. So you did it, boys.
yeah.
Literally.
Fun fact, he's a good pick for a Captain America-like character because he was originally going to be... It was between him and Chris Evans for Captain America. But sadly, because he was working on Supernatural, he just couldn't.
Aww.
Love how Supernatural, at the end of the series, they say that all gay people go to super hell.
Oh.
There was one character that's like, I'm not gay, I swear. And he's like, okay, I think I'm gay. 5 seconds later, he's taken to super hell. It's like, okay, bye.
I am the king of super hell.
No, you're their
you're the-
slave.
No. They're you're the example.
You're the
You have to be.
example,
You
damn.
have. It's like you have to be this tall to ride the ride. You have to be this gay to enter here. Emily's been alone in Super Hell for a very long time. Nothing's been able to surpass her.
It's lonely here. I created a new rank.
That
Yeah.
rank's already been created.
Even Satan's like, I didn't even know that could happen.
Satan's been like looking over like his different realms. And he's like, "Oh right, I wonder how many people are in Super Hell." And he looks and he's like, "Still one."
He's like, I'm just gonna send you back to give you some friends.
At a certain point, it becomes like almost comical and sad for me.
Long and hard didst thou
Huh?
fight.
What?
Long and hard didst thou fight,
Okay.
Emily Kazora.
I just heard long
Upon
and
my
hard.
name as Satan, I will send you back.
Emily
He's like,
hears,
try to
Emily's
convert
here.
some others.
Emily hears Satan go long and hard, and she goes, "No, thank you. I'm here for a reason."
I wonder how distorted we can get Emily's image to the wide public.
Oh,
Very,
Oh, what do you
very.
mean?
I mean, my
can do
image is
it
straight up
very
just small
well.
gator.
Yeah.
Mine is just
I-
myself, bro.
I love to have the image of just like the ruler of hell just messing around in the flames.
No,
You
it's
have
not.
the
You're
ruler
going to
of
be
hell.
the
It
masochistic
happened.
gay person.
Yes. Join me.
No.
Dr. Facilier offering the chance of a lifetime.
I've
Take
got
my
friends on the other
hand.
side.
Won't you shake a poor
Upon
sinner's
my-
hand, boy?
Uh,
Oh, yeah.
Long and hard didst thou
We have
fight.
free real estate.
He got dragged to super hell and he's like, oh fuck.
Also, I also have
But
another
this-
question.
Finally,
Take me back.
finally, someone else. I'm not lonely.
What?
Me.
Oh.
Yeah.
What are
Oh,
like
that.
some video game adaptations that you would like to see as either as movies or as like shows? I actually have a
obviously
good question for that.
Bioshock is
Bioshock would
one
be
that
good.
is
Yeah.
up there for me. I'm trying to
Also,
think.
Emily, you cannot say The Sims. Emily, you cannot say The Sims.
I don't think it would have a story, Ava.
I know, but also Sims don't count as a game.
My
Sorry for
brother
anyone
just
who
got
plays The Sims.
My brother just got my dad's keys locked in my car.
Oh.
Your what? Wait, what happened?
My brother
Her-
got my dad's keys locked in my car.
How?
What is your? Please tell me that your dad's yelling at him.
Yeah.
Cool.
I
Well,
would
actually, I don't
assume
hear
so,
him
Ava.
yelling, but I would assume.
Yeah. But I'm trying to think of what some good live action or I guess animated.
Animated?
Yeah.
I would say more animated side, please.
I
Yeah.
feel like Legend of Zelda would be a good animated thing.
Yeah.
They already have animations in Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild. They could literally just turn it into an anime like Samurai Jack. Just have Link be silent the entire time with everybody else doing the talking.
Yeah. Unlike the original like animated Legend of Zelda.
Oh, come on. What's wrong with brown-haired Link?
Please, no.
Excuse
princess.
Me.
Oh god.
Uh,
Man, I love how it was based off of the Zelda CDI games. Not even the original stuff, I don't think.
Yeah. No, it wasn't because. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that could be a good one. There could be a live action Metroid. I feel like that could work.
Oh yeah. That could work if done correctly.
I mean, we've seen good video game adaptations as anime.
Yeah.
I mean, there's obviously
Arcane.
Blade Runner.
Arcane. Don't forget about the
Arcane.
good
There's a ton
Castlevania,
of-
Ava.
Yeah, I
There's
love
a ton of
Castlevania.
there's a ton of
Castlevania is
animes. there's a ton of animes based off of visual novels.
We do not talk about Sword Art Online, thank you. We are not. We're not
That's
talking
a
about
novel.
Rape Simulator 5000.
Oh dear.
Not that either.
And that's what happens.
But I remember
What?
me and Ava. What?
Wait, Max,
Huh?
what?
Wait, whoa.
What?
You
Max,
can't
I
just
heard
mute
that.
yourself after that one, buddy. You can't just.
Oh,
Shall we exterminate one of the hosts? Is what we're
Kick
talking
him.
I have
about
a
now.
Get him out.
friend.
Kick him.
No,
I get a friend.
I'm just saying because if you stick people in that type of situation, like say Sword Art Online, or it's like it's based. I mean, let's say it's basically you're gonna die.
Oh.
So it's real life, basically, but you're still in a game setting.
You're not guaranteed
People-
to die. People can just choose to live there.
Well, yes,
That's
but
what
it's
they
still
do for
no.
years.
Yeah.
What
that
I'm
is
saying
true.
is it still functions as real, quote unquote, real life. Okay, you can choose to live there, yeah, but like if you do die, you die. There's no respawning.
Death
So-
is death. That makes sense, Max. Okay.
Oh,
That-
dang.
I mean,
who would have
yeah.
known that if I died, I would die? Dang, huh?
No, you're in a game setting is the thing. So the thing about game settings is like, oh, if you die, you can respawn. Yeah, but in the Sword Art Online case, yeah, if you die, you die. You fucking just kills your brain. You're dead.
Yeah.
Yes, Max. So
And when you
I get
put
to
and
have
when
my
in that
fantasy of being-
situation,
I get to have my fantasy of living in a fantasy world. Wow. Oh no. Whatever will I do? What?
No.
Max, they only
Okay.
they only use that premise. They only use the like you die if you die in the game and you die in in real life like twice.
mhm. So
Like
what
the
I'm
first part of season 1, and then the entire like season
the
3, I
movie.
think.
One of the movies. I think.
I've never seen season 3,
Oh yeah.
so I've only
That
seen I
was-
think season 1.
I remember
1.
season 2
maybe
tried
season
to do
2.
it, but it's like, no, season 2 didn't do
Yeah.
it that way. Season 2 was just a person broke into your house while you were still in the game
Yeah.
and shot you.
No.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen season 2. I think I've only seen season 1. But the whole thing is though is like it's still in this fantasy setting. Okay, so it's not the real world. Okay, but you still have like you still have some of the main aspects of the real world within this fantasy setting. So it distorts the image slash rules, laws, things like that. So it like helps distort that. So
yeah, not everybody's
in
going
my
to
opinion-
go, not everybody's gonna be like, well, I'm gonna die. Might as well find the nearest woman.
no, that's not what I'm saying. Okay, I'm just saying
16.5.
that I'm saying that it distorts it. So in my opinion, it's more likely to happen. That's my opinion. Okay, that's how I'm justifying or explaining
Bless you.
my opinion.
Thank you.
But you know damn well everyone loves to take out of context pockets and cancel people right away. So goodbye career for me.
Oh, calm down.
Oh yeah.
So that's how Twitter works.
I mean,
Yeah.
what? Wait, what's Twitter? What? It's X now.
Twitter also makes shit up.
Everyone
Oh, yeah,
calls
sorry.
it Twitter.
X also
Yeah,
makes
it's still
stuff
called
up.
Twitter. It's not even called X. They can't change the domain.
Oh, I will
Domain-
never call it X.
Yeah, the domain is
more
still
of it.
twitter.com.
I think
It
there's
will
a
be
petition
Twitter
to
as long
bring
as
the
I
word
live.
back. And it's just like
Oh.
rename it Twitter. Make it Twitter again. We liked our blue racist bird app.
Yes,
Speaking
yes,
of speaking of companies, have you all heard what Unity has done?
Oh no.
Yes.
No.
Didn't they
I
like?
have not.
Yeah, didn't they like charge them for
Okay.
everything or like?
So what Unity has done is they're updating their thing. So now not only do you have to pay for the actual tools to develop the games, but if you reach a certain like
It's about
if you
10,000.
sell a certain amount of games, then you have to start paying the developers of the Unity per install of the game.
Not even
What?
like adding to library. Install.
Yeah, install.
So let's say you
Which-
have a computer. You really want to annoy some game companies like Blizzard. Some people have have an extra computer. Literally, they code it that it will constantly install and uninstall Overwatch 2. Because it's a
Yep.
free game, the player doesn't pay anything.
Mhm.
But Blizzard will have to pay, granted, because they're a higher end game developer, it's 5 cents.
Yeah.
But let's say that happens 100 times over the hour. So they lose what is it? $5 an hour.
Yeah.
They'll slowly lose money, sure. But what if it's say the same thing with other people doing it? Maybe even more. So yeah.
Mhm.
People make these things just to get
Another thing is the fact that they don't like piracy as well. Like if someone pirates the game, do the developers still have to pay Unity?
Who knows? Everybody's trying to switch to Unreal Engine because of it.
Yeah.
And it's just like this is going to put so many more time problems because of it. It's like it doesn't make sense with that. Because I can understand if you're like, hey, we're gonna slightly raise the price of the Unity software. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
We're going to now be charging you for every time somebody installs the game. Not adds to their library, none of that. Installs the game.
Yeah.
Even if
And,
it's free to play, which is stupid.
Yeah. I learned something new as well. The current CEO of Unity has also said that was like I think was part of the like EA team.
Oh, this
And
makes
he
sense.
has quite literally he has quite literally been like quoted saying you know we could probably
Screw all that.
charge like $1 per reload and players will still buy it.
Nope. I'm gonna tell you this right
Like-
now.
Like,
Nada.
yeah.
Maybe the whales, which is not supposed to be a derogatory term, but also it's just like sorry for you people that have those like FOMO things, fear of missing out.
Yeah.
Like that is a real thing, and that's why people do the
Yeah.
limited time offer, so that people that have those problems of I might miss out on the of the item. That's why they do it, so that they'll get people to buy it, and then 5 days later it's back, and it's like, well, too bad. You've done nothing. But yeah, no.
Yeah,
that's a whole problem with Unity. Unity. It just doesn't make sense. Because why would it have ever made sense in the first place? Yeah. Got a question that I think all of us can kind of answer. What horror movie did you see recently? What was your favorite horror movie? What's your least favorite horror movie?
Well, I've only seen one.
No, you've seen two.
No, I haven't.
She
Loki's
saw
does not
the
count.
first part of Evil Dead Rise.
You saw The Shining.
And I was
Yeah.
Oh, did she?
That was the only one I've seen.
The Conjuring?
Wait, when did I watch The Shining then? Because was it the one at Yadira's house?
No,
Yadira's
that
house
was
was The
That's The
Conjuring.
Conjuring.
Yeah, that's the only one I've seen.
You haven't seen
You saw
any.
No, I haven't seen any other movie. That's
You
the
seen-
only one I've seen.
So Emily, I've got to show you some horror movies then.
Come
No,
into my,
man,
come
we're
into
gonna be
my basement
watching
from
The
Super
Nun.
Hell. Glad you could join me.
Ah, yes.
Uh,
The person super hell has not seen a horror movie. That's
Dusting
top
off
tier.
the
Yes.
fire and brimstone from her trench coat.
Just sorry, I gotta wipe my feet on your welcome mat here. Chars it
I don't
completely.
have one, so
Oh,
I will say.
Blackens the entire floor.
exactly.
Okay, who wants to go first? Who wants to go first with
You can
that?
go first. You're our host.
yeah.
Okay, I guess one of my favorites was, and I will still stand by this. I do not care. I do not care what anyone says. Well, maybe I do a little bit. Anyway, that doesn't matter. Anyway, so I
Well, we'll
like
see.
the horror movie Annabelle Creation. That was good.
Shit.
That was good evil.
Ah, Chucky's sister.
No, but like it was good horror. Like it felt good.
Yes.
Okay.
But like
Was
it
this one
had
voiced
good
by
moments
female
where
Mark
you're like
Hamill?
dreading. Like you had good moments like where you were dreading like what was gonna happen and what was gonna happen to the poor little girl. Yeah, she basically got the worst end of the stick. She got possessed. And
She got fucking murdered.
Ooh,
No.
possession in a horror movie. Who would?
Emily, shut up. You haven't watched a horror movie other than
That is
The
true.
Conjuring. Shut
And we have
up.
Which
to
is
force
also a
your eyes
possession
open to
movie.
watch it.
Which I saw The Conjuring 1.5 times.
I hate you.
That doesn't
The one
count.
The one at Yadira's, and then Riley showed it to me during mythology.
That does not count.
But I only saw half of it with Riley.
Look
Well.
up horror movies, Emily. See if there's any that you might recognize from your osmosis of horror movie watching or something.
But I will say,
I mean, I've watched the old, like, 1940s
That
Frankensteins and
counts!
stuff. Oh, wait, Frankenstein and Dracula Joe?
Um,
Very
is
cool.
Is it horror?
I
Suka Blitz.
Okay, what's the name of the movie? I'll look it up.
Well, I've seen the Frankenstein.
Emily's like,
I've seen
does
like
Munsters
Dracula and
count?
Frankenstein.
Does the Munsters count?
Frankenstein. It's horror sci-fi.
Yeah.
Dracula.
Creature-
Horror, supernatural horror.
Okay,
So yeah.
I will again. Also, I have another fan favorite, but this is kind of like I would say the honorable mention because I was at Loki's house when I watched it. The Pope's Exorcist. I liked that. That was actually good.
Yeah.
It didn't feel another thing too. Also, if you guys are also not religious, again, if you guys are atheists, like our good friend Emily here,
Yeah,
It
that's the
it
second
wasn't
reason she's in
shoving it,
Super
like-
Hell. The gay part wasn't the real problem. It's the atheism that really kicked her down a notch.
I was like, oh,
No,
this
but,
guy's
like-
actually real.
That's just San Francisco.
my
Go ahead, Ava.
lord. No, but sorry, I'm also playing Roblox too, so like people are annoying me.
Oh, I'm cleaning up my room.
But no. So another thing, right? I liked, but the one of the movies I hated the most was quite
I
easily
know.
Evil Dead Rise.
Yes. Only horror movie pretty sure I fell asleep to.
No, you didn't fall
You
asleep. You were awake during it because your ears were plugged.
Yeah, you were awake. You never fell asleep, like I said.
No, I think he fell asleep within the first half. He woke up and he's like, "Oh, I hate this."
Yeah.
Yeah, no. It's a good thing I'm used to blood and gore, so I helped cover Ava's eyes.
But like it,
Like again,
the creaking of the bones just did.
like
yeah,
that's
no.
what did it the
You
most.
don't like bones.
No, I
I'm
don't
We know
like
you don't
fucking
like bones.
breaking bones.
You don't like the sound of celery being snapped. That is how they get the sound of bones being broken in horror movies. It's celery snapping.
If it was like quick, I could probably withstand it. But
No,
it was slow.
Take your pizza. Sorry.
Freddie Fazbearrington in the movie.
Ava's losing her shit.
Eat your pizza.
No, because like okay. Also, quick fact: if anyone plays this game, let me check what game this
If
is.
anyone plays, was it working at a pizza place?
No, it's like where you can have like those toddlers and you're able to have them like you can have them.
Oh.
Cinco noches.
Is it
Yeah.
Adopt Me?
It's not Adopt Me.
What the
We both played it.
I know what you're talking
Oh,
about.
the one with the child eater thing.
No. Not
What
that
am
one.
I
No.
listening to? This sounds
one
more
with the airport.
this sounds more horrifying than any movie Emily's watched.
No, it's the one with the airport and then the island and
I remember the
Yeah,
last time
well,
an airport was
Emily,
involved.
go up, go
no
into
Russian.
Roblox and just see what I'm playing.
all right, hold on, let me open.
That's the biggest name I've ever seen. It's just Club Roblox.
Club Roblox. that's
Oh,
perfect.
is it Club Roblox? Okay.
Yes.
But yeah,
Anyways,
but,
back
like,
to
yeah.
horror movies.
the Evil Dead Rise thing with the eyeball and the
That honestly made me
With the Evil Dead Rising horror, that one, the
Evil Dead Rise.
Yeah, the one you didn't
the-
watch.
it was so bad. I mean, the body horror is
You didn't
good.
watch it.
You
You were in the back
I did
playing on
watch
your
it.
phone. Shut up.
I did watch it.
Me and
I
Max
did
were
watch
reading.
it. I can give you the rundown if you want.
No, I would rather not.
Me and Max were
I would
reading.
rather
That's what was
Okay.
going on.
No,
Um,
Because then I'd have to add another spoiler tag.
Actually, not. With how bad this movie is, no, you wouldn't. You kidding
That
me?
is true.
But like,
it
also,
was yeah.
like,
I mean,
I could forgive it if it was just like, oh well, our main form of horror is gore, because it's like, okay, it's Evil
Yeah.
Dead. I understand that, but the problem is
Mhm.
the story was garbage.
Yeah.
like also like I remember when we were going when you took me home. You took me home and I remember like saying, how in the heck did that woman who witnessed that, who is atheist, survive that? And I just go, wouldn't you be if you saw that? I would go holy if I saw that happening.
Yeah. It's like, how'd she survive? You kidding me? You see this, you believe in every god. You turn into that one character from like the 1990 Mummy movie in which he's just praying to 15 different things. It's like saying to our father, he's saying some like Muslim prayer, some Jewish prayer, some Shintoism,
Emily,
Buddhism. It's just like
Emily,
all of them.
Hold on, I'm sorry, Chris. Sorry to interrupt. Emily, you would not go if that was going on outside your gosh darn room. You would not be going
Eh.
You would not be.
Look, I was having a good night's sleep.
And then I woke up.
And then I
woke up and there's all this
absolutely hate-
blood everywhere. I was, oh yeah, well okay.
No, what I also loved the most is that what happened to the other people in there? Like, what happened to the other residents? Did they just pretend that everything was honky dory?
Yeah. The
Like-
old man grabbed a shotgun and he was fine.
The old man who fired a shot and no one dared to blink an eye to that. I was like, okay.
Like, there's like I wanted to like it, but at the same time there were just so many
Yeah.
stupid things like, oh right, yeah, this clearly evil book made of flesh and blood. Yeah, I'm gonna keep doing
Yeah, let's
whatever's
open
in
it.
it. What?
So not paperback?
I
Nickelback?
I don't think so.
yeah, try skin back. Scalp back.
So
There you go, love.
going to me, I have not watched a lot of horror movies because honestly, I don't like horror movies. But I think
I have
one
to.
of I think one of the ones I like the most is probably The Shining.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's a good old classic. Red rum. Red rum.
Yeah.
The elevator scene is a very iconic one where the elevator door
Yeah.
is just blood.
Oh, I love elevators. Elevators are great.
I'm going
Emily,
to
you can
attack
host elevators next time.
I know. I spent 45 minutes in an elevator. It was great.
Yeah, I know. He
We'll
did.
talk about that in another podcast episode.
Yeah.
Maybe not this one, but yeah, keep going, Loki.
Yeah. Again, since I've not watched very many horror movies, I'd still have to say Evil Dead Rise is probably one of the worst ones.
Yeah.
And again, to all those people who like Evil Dead Rise, or Evil Dead, it's not like it's just that they could have done more with it. Like for me, I can handle a bit of gore, but not a lot. Like also, like another thing too, you got to make it look appealing to everyone. Like I'm sorry that eyeball scene.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Just spitting
And
out
also,
the
Emily,
eyeball.
it sounds like you're coughing up a lung.
No, it's
She
fine.
is.
That's just normal.
That
Oh
should
my god!
not be.
Oh my god! She's been infected. Guys, she's
The
been infected
ashes around
somehow.
me just kind of clog up my.
Yeah, but
She's been infected.
Also, another thing is like with the other
Oh
Evil Dead movies, the actor Bruce Campbell does a really good job at like being like, you know what? I don't care. I'm able to kill as many of the people that piss me off. And he's just like he does a really good job of the character, just being like, and you watch it like yeah, there's blood and gore and stuff, but the character is entertaining, and it's like you can just enjoy the character because it's also kind of funny. But with this,
I'm
the
sorry.
characters were so annoying, and just I was just waiting for them to die because I knew they would.
Yeah.
He just said keep it, and then when it's born, give it to him. What the heck is going on in this server?
I don't know.
I have no clue. Anyways,
Anywho.
Max, favorite and least favorite horror movies, and what are they and why? Uh-oh.
He's
silence
dead.
me like that.
He's
Okay,
dead.
Max
we'll come
joined
back.
me.
Emily, what's your favorite and least favorite horror movie
Remember, guys.
between the two that you've seen?
3, technically.
I would say my favorite has to be the Conjuring. The only one I've really
That's
Say
the only
Chinese.
modern one.
My least favorite, even though it's like, I mean, probably be Frankenstein, I guess. Like, I still liked it. I don't hate it, but out of the three, I guess this is what I gotta go with.
The problem is she hasn't seen any movies.
Nope.
That is true. The
I
only
left a
movies
hole
you
in the ground.
watch
Emily
are
watches
the movies that.
documentary about like Eisenhower, and she's like, "Yeah, this is a really good movie. This was #1 box office in 1949. Yeah, this is really good."
She watches the movies that appear on Mystery Science Theater 3000.
She doesn't even know what that is. I don't think.
I
Look at
know.
explain it to me.
Yeah, but yeah. I'll start with my favorite, and you all know what my favorite is. I think, right? Oh, I've said it enough.
Damn.
My my favorite one is John Carpenter's The Thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you have mentioned that. Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Oh, you have mentioned that.
Yay!
Oh.
All right.
I
Damn.
Well, like
hope
once you
so.
said it, I was like, oh, yeah.
But it has some of my favorite body horror, and it doesn't have to resort to just blood and gore body horror.
Yeah.
It's like it does a good way of making you not certain of anybody. You don't know who's infected, and that's kind of the genius. All of the like thing mutations for the body parts, it's not CGI, it's actual like static effects, and it makes it look way more real.
Yeah, it's practical effects.
Practical effects, yeah. And like I'm gonna say this right now. Stop using CGI for everything.
Yeah.
It's getting real annoying. I can understand
I remember.
Avengers. I will say this, Marvel, please, Marvel, please do better. Please.
I mean, even looking at the first RoboCop movie, which is kind of a horror, I think, when he takes the mask off, I don't know how they did this, but they did an amazing job. You can look up RoboCop like 1980 something, I think is when the movie came out, like taking off the mask, and what it is because his entire body was just blown up. The only thing that they could save was his face after a horrible gunfight. And this cop. And so what it is they cover his face that way. He has no humanity left. The face is just kind of there to act as, oh, well, it's the facade that he's a perfectly fine human, when in actuality, he's just a robot for programming. And so when it takes off, you just see the face is just stretched. Like skin is just stretched over machinery, and you can't tell where you can barely tell where things start and stop, and it looks so good. I'm so glad that they did that. And then they remade it and made it bad. I'm like, gosh, as always. Yeah, but I really do like John Carpenter's The Thing. A second place one would probably be the Cronenberg Fly.
Yeah.
With Jeff Goldblum, oddly enough. Like, again, practical effects are like 10 times better than CGI. Obviously, if it's like, well, we don't want another case of Alec Baldwin accidentally firing the gun off. Like, then, yeah, I can understand using CGI or VFX. But with literal, like, college dorm rooms, and it's like, oh yeah, it's all green because we just didn't want to pay extra. Like, you're paying more for the CGI than you would for just a studio set. They're like, nah, it's fine. This makes sense.
I will say, I know some animes use CGI pretty well.
Yeah, but they're also 2D.
Yeah.
They aren't real.
That is true. Yeah.
I'm talking about things in which, like, oh wow, this looks real, and then you look at the actual version, it's like, oh, he's just sitting in a green room with a green chair, green everything except for the person. It's like, that just looks bad.
I remember I think they tried to do a sequel for the Thing, John Carpenter's The Thing.
Yes.
Or no, it was a remake.
Yes, it was a remake, and it took place beforehand. It was a prequel, but it's still The Thing. It was from 2011.
Yeah,
and everybody always goes, oh, well, everybody says it's bad only because of CGI. No, I think the CGI does a pretty good job. There's one scene.
Did you... they actually did that entire movie in practical effects and then CGI'd over all of it.
Yeah, no, that's the thing that pissed me off. It's like, you have it. There's one scene that I saw, and I'm like, this looks really cool. It's also very horrifying. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen it. This is like one of the two good things of the movie. Of the remake kind of the movie that I will give it praise for. And that is, one of the people was turned into the Thing. They turned into this weird, like, multi-legged, like, almost face hugger from Alien wall crawling thing.
Yeah.
And they just jump onto another person, and they're just being merged, and both people are in pain because it's just like, it's so creepy and horrifying, but at the same time, it's just like, oh, you can feel their pain, because it's just like, imagine if somebody's in agony and just like immediately merging onto your body, making you one of them. It's like, it's horrifying. But yeah. The other only good part I will give to the movie is saying that, like, a change to how the Thing works. Because in the original movie, it can pretty much mimic everything. But in the remake, they go, it can mimic organic material. So yeah, your clothes and stuff like that, yeah. But if you have metal anywhere in your body, it won't be able to remake that, so it'll have to spit it out. Which I think is a really good idea. Like, that was the only other thing that I was glad about. But the rest of it, it's like, acting is not good. There's bad stuff here. It's like, I don't know. It was very...
Yeah.
You
I-
could
I
feel
will.
that was made quickly to be made quickly.
Yeah. I remember the studio who did the practical effects released the un like released the entire movie with just the practical effects. I think the only thing that's separate from the practical effects movie from the actual movie is the ending because they changed it.
I don't know. I mean, the ending made sense, but I don't know. I did like the Things ending, the original one, because it's
Mhm.
just Childs and Julia
Yeah.
and or Jules, I think. I can't remember the character that's played by Keith David. I can't remember his.
Yeah.
Or no, it is Childs. It's Childs and McCready. And so it's like just the one question of are you a thing, and neither people can be certain of each other. Even if they
Yeah.
killed Norris thing, neither person is certain if the
Yeah.
other one is uninfected, and so they're just sat there. What am I hearing?
A cat.
You're hearing her moan.
Ew.
Oh,
Shut
this is
it
my cat.
up. Shut
This
it
is my
up.
cat Loaf. It's my cat Loaf.
No, don't be mean to the cat.
I'm not
Loaf,
I
you're
telling.
wasn't
sitting on
being
my
mean to
I'm
the
not
cat.
saying.
I was
I'm
being
not.
mean to Emily herself.
Yeah.
Loaf, you're sitting on my bank info. I need that Loaf.
Emily, you
Well, I'm
have
doing my-
$2 to your name. Stop saying that you have bank info.
No, I'm trying to get my stuff set up for work. That's what I'm just doing on the.
Okay, what's your
offhand.
social security number?
Bro, I don't know.
Oh,
What are
God.
the like 9 digits on the back of your credit card?
Don't do this.
I don't know.
9?
Everyone.
9 digits?
7, whatever the fuck. I don't
Loaf,
count
you
the
got extra
digit.
numbers?
It's 12.
Oh, then he's got less
Fine.
numbers.
No, you.
What?
Anyways, back to
What?
But I don't know. I don't know what was happening there. But anyway, my least favorite horror movie would, oh God, it wasn't Evil Dead Rise. Surprisingly enough, that movie wasn't. I could watch it. I hated watching it, but I could watch
Yeah.
it if it was just like me being bored and being like, "This is bad."
Yeah.
Like, this is funny bad for you.
Yeah,
To me, it was
for,
just bad.
yeah, for me it was funny bad because of all the error. Like that's something that I noticed. I noticed all the errors, and it's just like, yeah, that'll happen. God, I'm trying to think. I think my least favorite horror movie that I watched was what was the new one? Was it Halloween Ends? Was that the
Oh
new
yeah, Halloween
movie?
Ends.
Mm,
Yeah, they're
Here's the
making a
thing,
new one.
though. I don't think it's gonna end.
Actually,
Yeah.
wait, hold
It's
on.
supposed to. It's supposed to end.
Can I just slightly interrupt real quick? Because I remember this movie, and it is classified as a horror sci-fi. The New Mutants is my least favorite. It sucked. It was a piece
Oh.
of shit.
Now she remembers. Now she remembers.
I randomly was like, "Oh, wasn't that a horror?" It's not fucking. There was no horror whatsoever. Oh my god, it was the most stupid
It
motherfucking.
also just isn't a good movie, period. It's
It's
just
not.
bad.
It was shit. It was
Mm.
shit.
Thanks, X-Men.
Mhm.
Right?
We
That's
never
X-Men, right?
like. Here's the thing that I thought
Yeah.
was weird
Yeah.
is
You know what's a good movie? Oppenheimer's a good movie because
Shut
physics is
up.
fun.
Oh my
It's
god.
Max, I
physics
don't think
is
that's a
Now
fun.
you're
horror
Alright,
movie.
nerd.
Now you're back after we were talking to you for God knows how long ago, and you're just
Yeah, he
like,
comes in here like, physics is fun.
physics is
Yeah,
fun,
alright,
bud.
nerd.
Max, what's your favorite
I am a
and least
nerd,
favorite
deal with it.
movie?
Favorite
Horror
and least
movie.
favorite.
Horror movie.
Horror movie. I hate horror movies.
Oh, good God.
Oof. I don't. The thing is, I've not seen a lot of horror movies.
Jumanji
So
is a
but I
horror
could
movie.
still.
Jumanji's a horror movie.
Wait a minute.
I think it's classified. It's an action horror movie. Maybe
Which one?
the original one with Robin
The
Williams.
original is
It's
good.
adventure
Yeah.
fantasy.
Never mind then.
I mean, some jump scares here and there, but that's about
I
it.
remember when I watched it, like when I was 5, I kind of got creeped out of it. I don't know.
I mean,
think
I
it
don't
was
really
the
watch.
scene because the kid cheated. It was just like I don't like that.
Yeah.
Watching back,
I would say, I mean, I haven't watched much horror, but I have watched a lot of like action, so I can do action.
Yeah, cool. We'll ask you again if you have a favorite action and the least favorite action movie. What about horror?
I did. I don't watch horror. I just don't watch it. I
You've
mean,
never watched The Conjuring. You never watched Annabelle. You haven't watched any of those.
the only horror movie I could say I've watched was it wasn't the original one. It was the I would say updated version, if you want to say that, of Poltergeist.
You can say that then.
Yeah, that's your
That's
favorite
the
and least favorite.
yeah, that's like the only one I've watched voluntarily.
Of course that is.
Well,
Oh
we
my
need to
gosh.
get both you and Emily watching some good horror movies.
Yeah.
And we're
I
taking
watched
away
it.
your
Carpenter's the
phones.
thing. John Carpenter's the thing.
Yeah.
It's so good.
We're
I'm-
taking
The thing
away
is,
your
I've never
goddamn
watched this thing. I
phones.
already know the plot behind it.
No, I
No,
don't
you
care.
need
yes,
to watch
but
it. Look
you
at the VF. Look
yes.
at the VFX.
Oh,
They're
that
so
reminds
good.
me. I do.
Or
I
the
did
practical
back in the
effects.
day. I did watch a lot of
Back in the day, like you're
what's
50
the
years old. Shut up. Back in
it
my
was
day, soft serve was a nickel.
it was what's that one YouTube channel that did the kill count for horror movies?
Yeah, that one. The
Um,
one singular YouTube channel that I don't know.
it was no, it's a big one. It's like is it something like
Dead Meat?
meat or something? Yeah, dead meat. That it was. Yeah, I did. I did watch that a bunch back in the day.
That doesn't count. You're not watching a. Okay.
So I do from watching that. I do know a lot of like horror movie plots. So I just never bothered to watch those horror movies.
That's such a bad reason.
I'm gonna say this
because
right now.
one, what?
I'm gonna say this right now. Please, please. I know this is called filtered, uncensored. But please, let someone talk first, please. That's all I'm gonna say. Continue, Max. Go ahead.
Talk first. What do you mean by talk first?
When I say someone's talking, let them talk, and then if you have something, go say, "Hey, I have something to say on that." Please,
No.
please. I can't just stand people like.
This mouth
Talk-
is unfiltered.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Yep.
Okay.
Say that to me, I guess.
What?
But
No,
yeah,
no.
I
She
would
was trying to let
say.
you speak, Max.
Oh. Okay.
Well, I don't know what her intention behind that was. I don't know if she's directing that towards me when Chris was
No.
trying
Max,
to talk, or if
Max,
she's directing that
it's
towards
directed
Chris.
towards everyone.
Oh my gosh, just talk.
And
Keep-
all I'm
keep
saying is
talking.
someone who's talking, for example, like this, I'm saying someone who's talking directly, who is leading it, someone please talk first. Don't interrupt someone is what I'm saying, Max. I wasn't directing it towards you.
Okay, to me, that's what it seemed like. So I apologize for misunderstanding what you were trying to convey.
Mhm.
But I mean, that's the only thing I guess I've seen horror movies because there's watched a bunch of Saw, Chucky. She does a lot of Chucky ones. Some of them are like so bad that some of them don't make any sense. Especially there was what Chucky movie was. It was the
Bride
it
of
was so
Chucky?
stupid. No, the opening cutscene was doll sperm going through the
Okay, yeah, that's
fucking.
enough of that.
No, yeah, no, that's what the opening scene was. Technically, that's what it was. It was the weirdest thing. I mean, like, never realized it until the YouTube guy pointed it out in the video.
Man.
But
I've,
that
I've
was
actually
one.
seen more horror
Well,
movies.
Yeah, go
And then there's
back.
Chris, you
the
have
fog. The fog one was interesting, where it's like the movie where everyone's trapped in the supermarket and the fog comes around and
The
there's
Mist?
monsters in the fog. The mist, yeah. That one's pretty interesting. So, no, isn't that based off a
Stephen
book?
King. Stephen King.
Stephen King. Yep, that was.
But
You
yeah.
know what? I haven't seen any good like Cthulhu movies.
Yeah, because
Cthulhu?
it's hard to kind of do like
Oh.
Lovecraftian horrors.
'Cause that would
Yeah.
be. I mean, if someone could like pull that off, that would be pretty cool.
He can play Bloodborne.
Yeah,
Also,
Bloodborne does a
Bloodborne
pretty
would be
good
good.
job.
Well, I know there's
Yeah.
games out there related to
Going,
Lovecraftian horror.
yeah, a call back to earlier of a good video games made into anime or TV show.
Bloodborne.
Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Elden Ring.
Yeah.
Elden Ring.
You got some options, but yeah. Going back
Mm.
to my least favorite, it's Halloween Ends, for the very simple reason of it's not going to end, and it's just ripping off the same horrible, just like, yeah, Michael Myers is back. Shocker, he's died 500 times at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Just let the man die already, and let him die.
Yeah.
Pretty soon
Nah.
it's getting to the point in which William Afton is wondering how he keeps on coming back.
I always come back.
Well,
I
I'll go back to the let's go back to the Bloodborne game because
That's a good game.
But
Emily, what were you gonna say?
so
Sorry.
I looked up Bloodborne and Lies of P came up
Yes.
as because like news outlets keep talking about how it's Bloodborne like.
Yeah.
And I've seen a little bit of some gameplay, and it kind of reminds me of Bloodborne, but not.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is, yes. Because I remember I saw Lies of P. This was back in like May.
Mhm.
I saw like, oh hey, game's out. No, it's pre-order. Okay, but there's a demo, so I played the demo. It's imagine if you were to change the eldritch horror aspects of Bloodborne and change
Yeah.
it with like steampunk or stuff like
Okay.
that. That's pretty much the difference.
Yeah.
Because you play as Pinocchio. It's the Lies of
Mhm.
Pinocchio.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty much Dark Souls meets Pinocchio. So you're
Mhm.
going around in the game just killing these like rampaging puppets because the whole world, like all of London, was using these puppets as a source of Jesus.
Gesundheit.
Okay.
So I scared it away.
Yes, you did.
Yep, the host has left.
Sadly.
Well, I guess I'll take the torch one.
No.
But yeah, keeping on what I was saying, it's very much so just like Bloodborne meets Pinocchio, and just
Mhm.
whole world was using puppets, and then the puppets got infected by some virus, and now they're evil now. That's literally
Mhm.
all it is. And so it's a lot of that. I don't know. The gameplay it's a little floaty for me. I don't know.
Mhm.
And also I think I'm just kind of wearing myself down if I keep on playing Souls likes.
Yeah.
Like I know there are people that like that's their whole thing. I think Iron Pineapple is a YouTuber that just plays a bunch of
Mhm.
Souls likes on YouTube. He's been
Yeah.
doing that for like 5 or 6 years now. It's just like, oh my
Mhm.
gosh, please play something else before you go and see me.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I have to keep playing.
Mhm.
Dragging
Yeah.
himself toward the. I mean, it gets a lot of views, so I mean, sure.
Yeah.
But yeah. Finishing my thought of the worst horror movie. Honorable mention would probably have to be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, because that in its own right is a horror movie, and it is a movie that you watch in the sole intention of hurting yourself. That is a form of self-torture that they don't even use on like POWs.
Yeah.
Can I change my favorite?
What's your favorite?
well, I googled horror movies in the 1950s. I was like, oh, I've seen a lot of these.
Oh my
but
gosh.
House on a Haunted Hill is probably, I would say, my favorite.
Betrayal at the
Vincent
House on the
Price.
Haunted Hill. Yeah, I don't know.
No,
half these
just House
actors.
on House.
Yeah.
You know Vincent Price?
No.
Wow.
Is he still alive? I know Dick Van Dyke.
No,
That's all I know.
no. Okay, he was huge for like the 1950s, 60s horror. I'm
Yes,
surprised you
Emily.
don't know him.
Yes, Emily.
Well, yeah.
Let me just check back to what time period I was born in. Yep, that checks out why I don't know who this black and white film actor was.
But he was. Let's see. He was in. Yeah, he was in. Yeah, because I've seen House on Haunted. I'd say is probably my favorite. The Raven, which I've seen, which wasn't that good. House of Wax. Mask of the Red Death. He was in the Great Mouse Detective.
Mask of the Red Death? Isn't that the
That was the
one
Shakespeare.
poem?
Or
Yeah.
was it Shakespeare? Yeah.
It was some poem. Or not
Yeah.
poem,
I
sorry.
remember
House
reading
of
it, yeah.
Usher. He also did.
Wow. That's Shakespeare, I think. No,
yeah.
that's Poe. That's Poe.
Or that. Yeah. But because I've seen a lot of the 1950s, 60s horror.
Cool. Great.
But yeah, I would say probably Haunted House or House on a was probably my favorite.
Okay, cool. You can end us off.
Yeah. Dukon.
What?
Well, thank
Ducon's-
you guys for listening, even though I wasn't here for like the last few minutes. But
Oh, you're
thank you guys
fine.
for listening.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was
Alles
missing
gut,
for like the
alles
first
gut.
half, so
Yeah.
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 Adios.
Anyways.
Bye.
Und